So last weekend, my local pen club got together and we had a swap meet, which is kind of fun. I hadn't actually participated in one before. So I went through all my stuff and found a few things that I wanted to move on and some inks and stuff, a few pens that I was, you know, not giving as much love to, and I thought maybe somebody else would have a good home for them. And I made a few trades. I swapped my white Sailor Pro Gear for this beautiful little uh, Sailor Pro Gear 2 with a hard broad nib. And I also swapped some inks and some stationery, and I'll go over some stuff. And one of the things I did swap was for this Pelikan 4001 series, Brilliant Brown. So we're going to take a little look at it. I've tried a few Pelikans before, but usually it's their higher end, the Edelstein rose quartz being the most recent. I think I gave away the rose quartz. I just never really got into it, but I got it at the Pelikan Hub. It was a lovely ink, but I found it a little dazzling to to work with, and so I tried. I swapped and stuff, and people were giving out samples to each other. It was a lot of fun. I have a bunch of samples I have to go through. So anyway, Pelikan 4001 series. So it's their baseline, I guess it is. I should have checked that, but um, I don't know why it's called 4001. Once again, I should have checked that. I am not professional, am I? Anyway, but so let's take a look at the packaging. It comes in a rather austere little package, which actually I kind of like. It's just Pelikan with their logo, 4001. There's this little nib shape here, and then a circle with a fountain pen. So if you look at this, it's fountain pen friendly, just from the diagram. Um, so it says fountain pen ink over here. It's in German, full halter tint, uh, brilliant brown. So you don't really see the name until you have to really sort of go looking for it, and it's not pronounced in any way. It says fountain pen ink first, brilliant brown. Really simple name. Um, what can I say about it? It's actually the box is really quite simple, and I don't mind that actually. But you don't really get a full impression of what colors inside. But the bottle actually I quite like. It's got a nice sort of rounded shoulders. It's flat based. It's decently wide. It seems stable. You know what I mean? And it has the classic Pelikan logo on the cap. This one has two chicks, so I don't know what year that would be from. I've gone through that so many times looking at the logo. Apparently the chicks tell you an era, and I keep forgetting immediately all that information. But anyway, because it's not really important unless I'm trying to date a pen or something like that. So you open it up. Actually, it has this nice little plastic cap. There's a knurling. What do you call that? Knurling. Sort of like lines on the textured edge, so it's easy to grip, and a little small, but it's good to grip, and it opens fairly straightforwardly. And as you can see, brilliant red, uh, brilliant brown. That's actually one of the funny things about the name. I never associate the word brilliant with brown. Brilliant red, brilliant yellow, brilliant blue, brilliant cat. But browns, I think of more like earthy brown, like descriptive phrases for those colors. I don't think of brilliant. Don't drink the ink. Anyway, uh, so this is my cat Amaya, who is all of a sudden very curious in inks. What is there a smell to it? No, I can't smell anything. She's smelling it, and she's kind of wondering if she can drink it. Don't drink the ink. Hello. Okay, you. Listen, I'm working here. Anyway, so yeah, so it's looking at the way the light is coming through the bottle. Now she wants to drink my coffee. Oh my gosh. I'm going to put you down. I love you. But oh boy. Anyway, when I look at it just in the bottle and you see the cap, it's very coppery. or that's my first impression when I opened it. Very coppery. So I'm going to do a little swatch, a couple little swatches, and see how it looks. Yeah. Now, the first things that come to mind. What is with you? The first thing that comes to mind is this is made of catnip. That's okay. You're causing trouble. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is copper. I look at that and I see copper. I also see red iron oxide, which is, if you're ever been to Prince Edward Island, our soil is made of, well, it's very sandy, and there's a lot of iron oxide in it, and it's rusted. So the soil on PEI is red. That's one of the common features. This is a little darker than our soil, but it has tones of copper, burnt sienna, and yeah, I can understand why they're calling this brilliant brown, actually, as I look at it, because it's a brighter brown, it's a redder brown, or more yellow brown, it's coppery, it's not really like a rich, earthy brown. Anyway, so we're going to do a little writing sample with it. So this is a nice broad nib on this pen, and I quite like it. So it's the Pelikan, and the cat is walking everywhere. Oh, she loves me. What can I say? So it's Pelikan in a sailor. Pelikan Brilliant Brown. So there's really no sheening or anything like going on in this. There's no sheen as far as I can see so far. With the broad line, with the hard broad nib, you do get a little bit of color variation, just from downstrokes and things like that, cross strokes. That's probably more to the pen. So I think it's just a straightforward brown ink. I like it. Lighter than some of the other browns that I have. Actually, I'm going to do a video sometime just comparing some of the browns that I have. I don't have a huge selection, but I do find I'm actually quite attracted to certain colors, darker colors. I use a lot of reddish colors, and browns actually I quite like too. So yeah, actually, I like this ink. It's subtle. It'll be interesting to try this in a few different pens, actually, over time. See which one it works the nicest in. So the Brilliant Brown. So we're just going to do a little writing sample. Now, for me, this seems like a fairly... It's not the wettest ink I have, by far. It's not what I would call in this... It's not overly wet. Or to me, it feels a bit dry. That could be the pen too. Once again, like I have a couple other pens that I like to try different inks in. My Pilot Custom 74, for instance, I really like it with a lot of... It really brings out a lot of nice characteristics with different inks. It has a soft medium nib. This pen also could be running a little... It could be a dry nib, or something like that. I haven't really experimented with a lot of colors in this one either, because I got this pen just on the weekend, and in the swap. So as I get used to it, I'll find inks that I prefer and some that I don't like, etc., etc., etc. That's the fun part of the hobby, right? So we're going to look at the back sheet, and it didn't bleed through, as you can see. There's other writing here from something else. So it didn't bleed through, which is nice. That also is, it's the Maraman paper I'm using. What is, Yeah, so it's a spiral note Marrow Man notebook, and I really like this paper. It's well behaved. It's good for fountain pens. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Um, yeah, I like it. And I'm not sad that I got rid of my rose quartz. Like it's always good to pass something on if you're not using it yourself, you know. Can't have it just sitting around. And I got rid of a few other inks. I traded some noodlers, and I picked up a bunch of samples, and I caught a couple other bottles from people, and it was a lot of fun doing a pen swap. And I'm going to show you something else I got recently. So I'm writing out a little swatch here, that brilliant brown. So this is I've been using a an old rotafile here, what do you call these things? Anyway, so I've been using this little filing system here for my inks, and I'm going to just put Pelikan here. There's Pelikan Edelstein, brilliant brown right there. And the other day, I'm always like, I like this. It's a bit clumsy though, you know, I find. And I don't really want to try a book. I've seen some new books coming out where you can, fill them with colored with your inks to keep better tracked. And I've seen rings and stuff like that people put their swatches on. But recently I was at the dollar store. I love dollars, or not the dollar store. Yeah, I was at the dollar store picking up some stuff, but I was at the thrift shop, Value Village. And if you grew up in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, or earlier, you probably had one of these in your homes. And it is an address. It's a pop-up address book. So the concept is, if you have the alphabet here, and you just slide this down, and it would take you to, say, K or L or M, and R, and so on like that. So that slides up and down. This is kind of old, but I've been looking for one of these. I see them on eBay, and I haven't really pulled the trigger. And it's like a little address pop-up book. And sometimes, most of them, the ones that I'm familiar with, they have the sliding rule. Like here, I used to have one years ago, and I had it on the side. I lost it or I threw it out. I really regret that now. But I used to remember seeing some that had like a rotary dial, where you would dial the because it was for phone numbers, so you would dial the letter that you needed, and that was really cool. But then once you select the letter, you press this little button and it pops up. Now, as you can see, this is empty, and I'm going to have to work on that. So I do have a couple. I have one sheet that I'm going to use as a template, and I was thinking it would be kind of fun to use this for ink swatches. I just don't know how to go about it yet. That's part of the fun of the game, part of the fun of the hobby. So I'm going to use this as a template, and I might be able to put like 3 or 4 inks on that and just pop it in there. I don't know if I'll be able to set up the sliding index properly, because you have to have these little slots set at different levels to get the alphabet you want. And that might be a little tricky, but I'm going to try to use that, or that's my intention. I have many intentions. Do I follow through? But anyway, do you remember this from your childhood? Do you still have one? Let me know. Anyway, and there you have it, the main topic of the video, Pelikan 4001 Brilliant Brown. I could go online, look this up, but why is it 4001? Let me know. What is your favorite Pelikan ink? Do you prefer the higher end Edelstein, is it called? Gemstone, or do you prefer their base lines? Let me know. And I'll hopefully be experimenting with some more Pelikan inks as time goes on. And I hope you have a good day. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.